might be, whatever time it might be in your neck of the woods. I'm Amber Kivett with Life Pro, and I'm excited to share with you our most recent new product launch, which is our Rejuvacure Far Infrared Sauna. Now, we just released this last Friday, and yes, just a few days have gone by, but what I want you all to know is that we had some confusion about some of the questions that we were covering. And so I wanted to go through and kind of give you another a brief overview of kind of what sauna you're actually ordering versus the one you're seeing in the background, which is mine here at my home. This is not a Life Pro branded product. In fact, I've had mine for several years, between 5 and 6 years, and spent a lot of money on it, a lot, when they were just kind of coming out available to people in their homes on a certain level of EMF near zero, which is the technology has come a long way. But I wanted to be able to give you a visualization of what it's like to have one of these box saunas in your home and how much space to allow and just kind of some of the great features that go along with it. But more importantly, we didn't have a lot of the photos available on our launch on Friday because these units are really expensive to manufacture. They're really expensive to ship. And so we just have one unit, and it's not here. It's on the other side of the country away from me. So being your leader in health and wellness with Life Pro, and being that I am kind of an educator with all of their products, we decided to kind of keep it simple and use my model, because my model is very similar to what you're ordering. It's just twice the size as far as dimensions go, but it's the same width as far as how deep it is when you walk in. It's the same depth and it's the same height. So to give you a general idea of what to expect when you get yours. And the heaters are very similar. The touch control panel, very similar. There's just so many similarities about it that we just decided to hold off on shipping. And then in the grand scheme of things, I really didn't know where I was going to put number 2 when number 2 arrived before the holidays, because I'm hiding lots of presents. So anyways, let me know where you're coming in from, because we are live today on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. On Friday, we were exclusively live only on the VIP Facebook group. For those who are part of our, we've got a VIP group on Facebook, and all you have to do in order to be a part of that group is to buy one of our products, register it, and then join the group through answering the questions on the products that you order. We try and keep that group exclusive to what our purpose is all about, in that if you are already a Life Pro owner or are wanting to learn more and more about up and becoming products or be a product tester, we really maintain opportunities within those members because they are loyal and repeat customers for us. So we wanted to give them the option to order this wonderful product first, because we are already running out. We're already running low. So we've only got 40 units left. And the first 100 that we were selling were going to be $14.99.99 before the price went way up. We only have 40 left of those units to be able to sell. 40 left of that special pricing of $14.99.99 before gone. So don't delay, because you're getting a $500 discount off. And not only that, but when you order, we're going to provide you free shipping. That means no matter whether it's a lift gate requirement, whether you have to arrange for somebody to be there to unload it off of a big truck with the lift gate, whether it requires any kind of contracting, special delivery, we are covering the shipping. So that alone is worth the price of a lot, because I know the holidays are coming on hard, and deliveries are really hard to get things taken care of and buckled down, especially on big items. And so what I want you to remember is that we're taking care of all the shipping, and shipping on a product like this, if you had to pay for it yourself, you're looking at like $300 easy, because it comes in a crate and it comes secured, and we're going to make sure it's nestled and compacted very nice and neat, so that when it arrives at your doorstep, it's much easier to assemble and move around. Okay, so that being said, let me get into some of these details. So for those of you who are just seeing the new product for the first time, we can give you a little bit of information. Now, my wonderful backstage assistant is going to be posting the official launch video, which shows what the new Rejuvacure Far Infrared Sauna actually looks like, and how We've got a couple of different models that are showing you how to get in, get out, how to operate it, but it doesn't really include a lot of the fine details, which is what I'm here to cover today. So if you want to click on the video while you're watching me in the background, please feel free to do so. But I'm going to hold off on the video today because of interference with two different things running really close to each other. And I'm just going to kind of show you some of our pictures here so that you get an idea. So this right here is the new product that we are releasing. This is the new Rejuvacure Far Infrared Sauna. And as you see, it's very compact as compared to the one I'm sitting in front of. In fact, it's gonna stop about right here. It's a perfect box. So it's 35.5. We're just gonna call it 35 and a half to make it easy. 35 and a half by 35 and a half by 75 tall. Technically 74.8, but we like to make it a little easier for you. So 75 this way, and then it's a perfect square, 35 and a half, 35 and a half. Now, this one right here is exactly 35 and a half. I actually measured it. It's 35 and a half front to back. So if you can imagine 35 and a half side to side, it's going to be a perfect box. And the height is exactly the same. So let your eyes gaze up as you see the top. And then we come right back down to here. Yes. Okay. So now what I want to show you, again, that's kind of a close-up picture of how wonderfully compact that is. It can fit in your bathroom if you have extra bathroom space. But you're going to see some different features behind me here that you're going to be thinking, wow, I wonder if that's just fancy lighting or if that's just part of the unit. And the answer is a little bit of both. So if you look here at this picture, you're going to see that we've got some mood lighting at the very top here, okay, the very top. And mine doesn't have that. And mine's been around for a long time, but Life Pro is cutting edge. It's all about bringing out the bells and the whistles and making it no extra charge to you. So you get extra lighting on the outside, and you're also going to find on mine, my control panel is on the inside. So you actually have to get in it to turn it on. Only takes about 5 minutes for this to start heating up. As a matter of fact, we went live at 7 o'clock on the dot, and I came down here at 6:50 and pushed the power on button to 132 is what I got it set on, because that's where I left it the other day, Friday after we were done. I laid in here and cooked a little while to be able to relax, and I really didn't want to leave. It actually really relaxed me. So I'm going to do it again tonight to help me sleep, because I haven't slept very good the last couple of nights. Just stress, right? It's the holidays. Life is good though. Okay, when it comes to the specs, again, I'm going to give you a close-up visual of this so that you can actually learn something here today. So 35.4 by 35.4 by 75 high, okay? Now, somebody asked this question the other day. How big is the bench? The bench is 16 deep by 32.7 wide, okay? Now, 16 deep means that's how far it is from front to back, okay? And when we're talking about, as far as the height goes, it's going to be really about, I think they measure it like right at 32.7 is what it says on here. So mine sits just a little bit differently, but they're pretty darn close to the same, because as you can see on mine, there's a heater down there, and you've got a heater here as well coming across. Now, what makes the one that you're buying better than this one, the more expensive one, of course, because like I said, I spent like between $5,000 and $6,000 on this one years ago. What you're getting different is you're getting a vented floor. The whole floor is vented. So you're going to see on here in this picture, there's little slats that are going across on the floor, whereas mine is completely solid. If you want extra air, you have to either open the door or you have to pop these little plastic vents inside of mine. So yours is actually coming with the pre-vented floor, which is quite nice. So we got a bench heater, we got a floor heater vent, and then you've got 3 full-size wall heaters. That's what those black panels are right there. Those are carbon fiber heaters. You're getting 4 total, 3 that are side to side that you can lean up into. And this one's got more than that because it's twice the size. Now, yeah, mine is huge. So the one that you're buying is made for one of you, and the one that I have is made for 3 average size individuals. Well, I'm just going to say 3 small people, because if you had 3 of me in there, we would be crunched really tight having some snuggle time. But we had a little contest a couple years ago at Christmas, just kind of a laughing joke, to see how many ladies in their pajama pants that we could squeeze in the sauna in a non-functional position, meaning we were just cramming them in like the clown getting into the car, right? And we fit 10 of us, 10 of us in there, but our face was like smashed up into the glass, and we were like making funny faces, and we're like really cramped up. So you can't hang out in there for fun. But mine's built for 3. This is built for 1. So if you're trying to find alone time away from family or your spouse or whomever, and you're wanting to go where nobody else can be with you, get yourself one, because it's a great little escape. And I see we've got people coming in from all over the place. So, hey, give me some feedback and let me know if you already have a sauna, whether it be an infrared or a full spectrum, or whether you've got, a different type of sauna, because there's a couple of different types of saunas you can buy. I'll cover that here in just a second. Give me a thumbs up if you're listening in and you already have a sauna, and I want to know what you love about having access to your own sauna. And if you don't have a sauna and you enjoy going to use a sauna at the local gym or wherever it is, maybe you're in a vacation spot, if you enjoy using a sauna elsewhere, maybe put in the column what you love about experiencing in the sauna, because I'm going to cover all the benefits here in just a little bit. And if you already have a sauna blanket, you are set, because the sauna blankets are great. But I want to make sure y'all understand the biggest difference between the Rejuvacure and having the Rejuvacure infrared sauna. The wrap has got a coil that runs like zigzag through it, and it is portable. Okay. And you're all nestled in there nice and snug, but you really can't stretch and move around and do some different yoga poses in there necessarily, but you can lay flat and enjoy it on a flat, hard surface. If you end up with one of these, you're gonna it has to stay in pretty much a permanent location. What I mean by that is you're not going to be moving it from one place to another. But what you can do, I just moved mine about 2 months ago because we were rearranging our house, and I'm sitting in my old treatment room. So if you watch all my original YouTube videos from several years ago working with Life Pro, you're going to find that I'm in a room with a treatment table, and I'm actually sitting in that room right now. But because I have a new gym next door to my home, I do all my business over there. So this new room that I used to use for my treatment table is now wide open. So now it's the sauna room, and it's the Life Pro recovery room. So for our home, but we had to move it into this room without taking it apart, and we put little sliders on it and shifted it. We've got all of our doorways are handicap accessible. So they're wide enough that we could squeeze everything through, as crazy as that sounds. But we can move it around in the room if we want to, shifting side to side. So if you love the sauna blanket, you're going to get some fantastic benefits from the sauna blanket. If you're wanting something that is more of a permanent structure, it's going to have definitely a stronger effect than the sauna blanket will. The sauna blanket, like I said, is running with coils, whereas this is running with carbon fiber far infrared heaters. And we've got you basically are sitting in there and you're able to meditate. You can write, you can read, you can stretch. I don't recommend putting a vibration platform inside of it, but what does make good is if you have your vibration platform right on the outside for as soon as you step out and you've gone through some of this entry-level detox, you can go ahead and start vibrating and shaking out that lymphatic system. So it's a great opportunity. So anyhow, those are the dimensions. And so from here, I'm going to move on with some of the other wonderful benefits. Now, I already mentioned to you that I printed out all these wonderful photos so that you could actually relate a little bit better. You're going to see on this sheet, you have this control panel right here. Okay. Now mine is up there in the corner. I only have the one. This is double-sided, which makes it quite unique in the industry because I've not seen one like this. But you have the ability to turning it on the outside and then walking away without having to get inside it first. So you don't even have to open the door in order to turn it on. You can touch it from the outside and you can still operate it once you're inside because it's a dual side control panel. Now, you're going to find on the one that you are buying today, $14.99.99, $500 off for the next however many. I think they've got 40 left that they can sell at that price before they are gone at that price, and then the price jacks up to right at $2,000. Okay. But what you're going to find, very similar to mine, this one goes up to, mine goes up to 140 degrees. This one's better. It goes up to 145. And it also starts as low as 1 minute, or you can go all the way up to 60 minutes, one whole hour, which is the same as mine. And I love laying in here for, if I get up in the morning and I'm just like, want to push that snooze button, but I'm like just really needing a little bit more energy, a little bit more rejuvenation. If you hit that snooze button and you fall back asleep, you're not in that human growth hormone phase. You're still in that sleepy, trying to just get some rest, but you're really not getting good sleep. So here's what I'm going to recommend. If you get in here, in the one that you're buying, which goes up to 149 degrees, then if you turn it on and you just lay inside there instead of hitting the snooze button, and you lay in there for 15 or 20 minutes that you would normally sleep in, and allow that infrared light to like work through you, then you're going to start your day with a lot more energy, feeling less sore, kind of feeling more rejuvenated. And as far as using it before or after exercise, you can use it either or. So I want you to consider it this way. If you use it before, you're using it as a way to warm up the body so that when you do exercise, you're not as rigid, not as stiff, and you're getting the circulation flowing much quicker. Okay, so when you actually go to exercise, you can maximize that opportunity. If you're using it after exercise, you're using it for flushing and eliminate all the nasty toxins and lactic acid that have built up in the tissues. You're using it as a cool down. So you can use it either way. One way is not necessarily better than the other. It's just whatever works best for you and your timing. When it comes to using it before you get into a shower in the morning, or even in the evening, maybe you go to the gym and you're wanting to really push yourself through detox to prepare yourself for sleep, then you're going to get into the sauna first. And then in the sauna, if you have access to a dry brush or to a fascia blaster, okay, and if you're not familiar with fascia blasters, go to ashleyblackexperience.com, and it talks about using this little tool to break up fascial adhesions, but it puts you into control. But I will warn you, there are side effects associated with that, such as bruising, which is much different than other things that we can do through LifePro that are less invasive on the body. So if you choose to want to do dry brushing or a type of lymphatic stimulation in the sauna before you hop into the shower, then when you hop into the shower, you can flush all the toxins off of your skin, because our body eliminates toxicity through the pores of our skin. It's our greatest detox organ. So you can use it before, either or after, or you can use it both. You can use it in the morning, go to work, use it at the gym, or go to the gym, and then you come home, and then you would use it after you get home from the gym, and then hop into a shower, and you can flush out so that you can soak into a nice deep state of calming relaxation, sleepy time. So let's see here. Can we get the same benefits from the blanket? You will get some of the same benefits from the blanket, but they're not going to be as strong in the blanket as what you're going to get in an actual semi-permanent fixture. Okay, so if you have room for it, and if you're choosing one versus the other and money is no issue, go with this, because there's a lot more benefits that come from this much faster because of the intensity of the carbon fiber heaters versus the coils. But if you don't have access to one of these and you don't have room for one, the sauna blanket is definitely hands down better than just surrounding yourself with a bunch of red light lamps, because infrared light is as deep as it gets, and it penetrates up to a couple of inches into the body, all the way into the spine level. So that's the wonderful part about infrared technology. Full spectrum, whether it's near, far, or mid, is you're going to be able to penetrate through on a very deep level of the body. And yes, you're talking sciatic pain, Erica. If you're trying to heat tissue really deep, but it's more than heating. Not only are we heating, but we are regenerating and repairing cells and replicating mitochondria. If we're able to replicate mitochondria, if we're able to regenerate cell production, and we're able to tap into our recovery system, our parasympathetic nervous system, then we actually can age younger, which means if we have autoimmune disease, it is a great natural way to help with battling through autoimmune disease for a greater tomorrow. And what does that mean? I have fibromyalgia. I feel a lot better when I'm in this than if I am doing other things, because it penetrates not only heat on a deep level, but it's also stimulating, those wavelengths are stimulating our body to heal itself. If we provide, it's called a biohack. And a biohack is simply a way in which we can manipulate our own human biology, our cellular biology, in order to give our body the optimal environment for it to heal itself. Okay. And if you go back to Hippocrates' medicine, he is the godfather of modern medicine. If we go back to what Hippocrates actually wrote back in BC, Hippocrates wrote that if we understand the body on a cellular level, and if we provide for the body without putting obstacles in the way, then the body can heal itself miraculously without us interfering with it. The problem is we put too many obstacles in our own way, and we don't do things that help ourselves because we like to do some of the naughty things, like eating bad things and drinking bad things and not moving enough or moving too much, or the anxiety and stress. Stress hormones and anxiety are the number one leading factor in pain and autoimmune disease, as well as illness altogether. So if we can lower our oxidation levels, if we can lower our stress hormones, and if we can lower our inflammation, which happens in that, then we actually get healthier without the pill. All right. So there's just a little bit of feedback on what you can use the sauna for versus the blanket, and why both are better than using nothing at all. Okay. Yeah. So I talked about the temperature. Now, what I want to show you here real quick is you're going to see this light above. You're going to see the light over here, and you're going to see the white thing over there in the corner. The white thing in the corner is called an oxygen ionizer. And an oxygen ionizer is a purifier of air within the unit. So when you sweat, and if you're sick, and if you're breathing and you're sharing it with other people, that little machine up there is sanitizing and cleaning the sauna. You get one for free with your purchase, whereas I had to pay $200 for that thing. So what we're going to talk about now is what you're going to get in your unit. A little bit of compare and contrast here. And then you're seeing the lighting on this side, and that's called chromotherapy, which I'm going to talk about here in just a second. It does feature chromotherapy light. You're getting 7 different colors, and you're getting the Roy G. Biv spectrum. So I'm going to talk to you here in just a second about all the benefits of chromotherapy lighting. And similar to mine is rotating through all the different colors of the wavelengths. And when you are using your unit, you'll be able to isolate it to just one color. So if you want to choose one color, you can, but you can let them scroll through. Does the ionizer need to be replaced? At some time, yes. So mine has a little indicator up there. Right now it's green, and it'll show up as an orange or red if it's getting close or needing something. But let me tell you a little secret. That's the original one that I installed several years ago. It has not had to be replaced yet, because I don't use mine every single day, and I don't use it commercially. So if you're using it long hours of the day and you're using it every day of the week, that ionizer is going to break down a lot faster, but it is actually powered in. It's an actual electrical device. It's powered in with the main control panel, so that you don't have to worry about powering it up with a battery. So it's all inclusive. And on yours, see if I have a picture. I have a picture in the manual, which I don't have handy with me at this very second. It's just a little bitty silver oval looking. Yeah, I don't have a picture of it at this very moment, but actually, yes, I do. So it's just itty bitty. It's this little silver thing right there above the low EMF. Okay, so let's talk about that. So we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of all these different things. Okay, you get the chromotherapy. Okay, on mine, I had to pay extra. It was an extra $200, or I'm sorry, an extra $100 just for the light bulb. Okay, a $100 light bulb, you get yours for free. Okay. On the other side, okay, it's easy assembly. Okay, and what does that mean? Each one of these panels comes separately pieced together. So it's going to come in several different pieces, but you don't have to do a whole lot of, like, you don't have to put each one of these slats together. Like, this is whole one wall, and that is whole one wall. All the walls are going to come packaged separately, and then the ceiling and the floor and the bench and then the heaters are all separate. Now, I'm going to tell you, we have this amazing manual that comes with the product, but we also have an excellent assembly video that comes with it that you're going to see step by step how to operate, or how to put it together and get it operating within 2 hours, just two. It's 229 pounds. So you do need not one, nope, you need two of you or more, because 229 pounds for all the parts. And I know somebody has reached out to me. Well, I've had several reach out to me over the weekend, say, Amber, I'm at home alone. How am I going to get this inside my house? And I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get delivered to your doorstep. And then we're going to open up the door and we're going to open up the crate and we're going to carry one piece in at a time, because you can do that. These pieces, remember, the whole unit is a 35.5 by 35.5 square. So yeah, about my wingspan in a big square. So, and it's 75 inches tall, which is a little bit taller than me. So you're going to be able to lift each panel at a time, because the panels don't weigh like that 50, 75 pounds. The panels are not that heavy. It's just all the parts together in the secure crate that makes it really heavy. And then when you get it put together, you can buy these little furniture sliders that have little foam underneath them, and then you can push them around the room. If you decide that you don't like where your sauna is, then you can actually relocate it really quick. Now, the other thing that I wanted to clarify, because this was a question that came up in great depth, and I didn't have an answer at the time because Joel was not reachable at the moment, because he celebrates family, which we love. That's what we love here about Life Pro. We celebrate family. The cord, the power. It is a 9-foot power cord located on top of your unit. So it's not at the bottom, it's at top of the unit. And that power cord is a traditional 110 volt plug. So all you got to do is plug it into your outlet at home, but it's a 3-prong plug. So it's going to be very similar to like what you would use for a hair dryer or a light small appliance that goes on your countertop. And you don't have to have an electrician in order to certify it, unless if you're living in an apartment complex and they know that you're putting a sauna in. Again, the sauna doesn't weigh much more than a piece of furniture. You're just plugging it into an outlet, but you just got to make sure that your apartment complex will allow you to put that unit in. Some leases have restrictions with that kind of stuff, but you should be good to go, because it doesn't require, it takes no more electricity to power this up than it does to run a hair dryer. I do know that because I've done that research on my own to see how much my power bill would go up for me using this. And I do know that when you are running this at the same time, all the time, or even if you're just, I only have to turn it on when I'm ready to use it. So you don't leave it on all the time. In fact, I don't recommend you leave it on all the time. Just turn it on when you need it on. It kicks itself off. Yours will likely kick itself off like all of our other units do. And then when you need it again, you just push power on and it's ready to go. I can tell you, we have had several power outages in my home because of storms. And even though this one has been, it's on standby, if you will, so the breaker's on, but the power isn't on, it has not blown a fuse yet. And right now, although this technically requires a much bigger outlet with an electrician requirement, this right now is just plugged into my regular wall. Because we didn't want to have to install a whole nother power outlet. We just have to make sure that we're not running this and a major computer at the same time, because it can't handle both breakers. So it's running on standard power right now. All right, so got that taken care of. Now, the next thing I'm going to get into is the oxygen ionizer. So that's what disinfects it. One thing that's really important to remember, when you get your unit, okay, you're going to probably want to clean the outside, the inside, and all the panels, which is okay. I just use the Method wood cleaner, okay, and put it on a towel that's friendly for wood, because you're getting true, authentic Canadian hemlock wood, which is exclusively made for most saunas. All saunas in the world are made comprised of two different types of wood, cedar and Canadian hemlock. Now, cedar has a very strong scent presence in its space, whereas the Canadian hemlock wood does not. It smells really nice in here right now, but it's not a strong scent at all. It's not a woodsy scent. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's very pleasant. But Canadian hemlock is authentically made in Canada. Our product is put together in China. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that the Canadian hemlock wood is not made in China. The Canadian hemlock wood is sent to China to have all the components put together, and then it is shipped to you in a crate from us in the United States. So it's not being shipped directly to you from China, it's being sent from us. So that question came up last week as well. It is not assembled, mechanically put together, engineered, constructed here in the US, but it is made of a lot of parts here between Canadian territory, ours, and China, and it's just all kind of put together as one, as are most everything else that we see in our homes. So, but you're going to be getting it from us directly here in the United States. Matter of fact, if you buy it today, or if you've already ordered it as of Friday, we are shipping all these units out on January 6th. And again, we've only got 40 units left to sell at that low discounted price at $14.99, and then that price goes way up, back up to $19.99.99. We're giving you free shipping, and there's you're not responsible for any loose ends when that product arrives. We are going to take care of getting you all the right contact information so it's delivered to your doorstep. Now, when it comes to assembly, we are not providing custom assembly. You have to do that on your end. And I'm sure that you'll find yourself some handyman services in your area, or you can bring in a friend and have a little Life Pro cocktail gathering of refreshing water or whatever sparkling juice you would like to have, if you know what I mean. But whatever works for you, but you're going to have to arrange for assembly on your own with 2 of you or more. Now, when we talk about low EMF, there's a certain amount of radiation that comes from all electrical devices, okay? All electrical devices. And one thing that makes us very well known with this product, now that we are launching into this category, is a lot of the cheap saunas that you find are made with high EMF radiation ratings. In other words, they're not putting money into the electronics and into the panels and how the mechanics of this work in order to keep you safe. And because Life Pro does all that kind of product testing, because we look at medical populations and those of you who are aging and who are in pain, we are not going to put you in an environment which is going to stimulate more dysfunction or pain or toxicity. In fact, our sauna, very similar to mine, is assembled with non-toxic glue. So we've got it all the way down to the glue and the wood as to how we are making it safe for you to find greater health today and on beyond. So low EMF simply means that every electrical component that we're around, whether it's your hair dryer or your microwave or your curling iron or your iPhone or whatever smartphone you have, anything and everything, our TV, our computer, everything has a certain EMF rating, and ours is really, really close to 0. 0 does not exist because there's all electrical activity in everything, but ours is so low that it's really, really hard to trace, but it is traceable. So if you want to compare, feel free to do that and let us know. But I can tell you that I've done the testing on this, and there's a lot of independent agencies that test a lot of those different things. You can learn about that, but ours is a near 0 EMF level, okay? Now, one thing that this does not have that I wish it had is a towel holder. And you're going to find a towel holder inside your unit right when you open the door. It's going to be right over here on the side. So if you decide to carry in a towel, you're going to see I have a towel on my bench, and I keep one on my bench because when you sit on the wood, Wood is wood, right? We didn't bevel the edge, so it's not rounded off of the edge. And one thing that I like to use the towel for is if I can limit how much of my sweat absorbs into the wood, then the oxygen ionizer doesn't have to work as hard to disinfect the unit. So I like to put a towel in there. Just it makes it a little more cozy and soft, and it absorbs all the nasty toxicity leaving my body through sweat. But if you also look into like a yoga towel or a microfiber towel that dries really quick, those are great, and they're typically anti microbial, so they don't pick up bacteria and fungi as much as what a cotton towel does. But either way, we have, as soon as you walk in the door onto the right, you'll find a towel peg hanging on the wall, which is quite nice. Now, my handles are my little knobbies, little bitty, and yours are nice and easy and prominent to get a hold of. So nice long towel. So if you decide that you want to hang a towel on the outside or on the inside, you can still do that. We've got good tempered glass door, and yours is exactly the same. You've got this really nice tempered glass door, floor to ceiling. In fact, it looks like it has the same exact hinges, and it says Life Pro on the front of it. I'm jealous because I want mine to say Life Pro. So, and mine just ran out of time, so you heard it beep. And yeah, so again, we've got no toxic gas in there, no toxic glue, and we have a 2-year warranty included. So that's something I want to make sure we cover, because in all of our other products, most of our other products have a limited lifetime warranty, and saunas are really hard to guarantee for a lifetime. In fact, I think mine came with like a 5-year warranty, which is already expired. Again, I paid a lot of money for that warranty, but ours is coming with a 2-year limited warranty. And I can tell you right now, I can't imagine you ever having to use that, because again, I have had mine for several years and I've not had to call the company for one problem. And you're getting the exact same components, the exact same technology, pretty much the same box, just half the size, same type of wood. So, and I mean, I'm just going to tell you, all those saunas are assembled really from the same area in general. And again, they use either the Canadian hemlock wood or they use cedar. If you go and look at traditional saunas as they exist in Finland, okay, Finland is known for, everybody in Finland has a sauna, okay? Now, they put that into their daily regimen, afternoon recovery, or however you want to put it, but they use it pretty often as part of their lifestyle. And when we go to gyms or we go to spas and we get into some of these saunas, it's like, like you can't even breathe because they're so unbelievably hot. Those saunas are making it up to like 200 degrees, but they're using rocks or charcoal, and they're using water where you have to pour water on it consistently, and it's creating a steam effect. And you know, it's got the wood that's kind of cooking, if you will, that you sit on, and they're much larger. But those saunas are your traditional saunas, and you'll also find that I'm going to call them the high-end saunas are more of a barrel shaped, and they can be primarily outdoors, the barrels are. But the barrel saunas are exactly the same. They're made with the rocks or the charcoal. You pour water on them to get everything to steam, but you're turning up the heat underneath the rocks to keep them really hot. And when you pour water on it just continues to regenerate heat. So it makes it really hard to breathe in those, though, because the humidity factor is so high. You're going to have really low humidity in here. It's a very dry type of heat, if you will. It will make you perspire. In fact, if you're just getting started with a sauna experience, yours goes as low as 68 and goes as high as 149. So if you're worried about how well your body is going to be able to handle it, you can always start it at 90 degrees, which isn't very warm at all. 90 degrees outside where there's a lot of humidity is hot and uncomfortable because of the humidity. But when you're in an infrared sauna, you're getting heat directly from these big heater panels. And so it feels just different. It feels amazing. Even like I said, mine is set right now at 132. Could you imagine the outdoors being 132? But that heating panel is heating you from the inside out. 132 is what mine is, but yours goes up to 149 and as low as 68. So if you're not sure how we're going to handle it, you can start at that 90-degree level and sit in there for 10 minutes and just see how you handle it. And if you handle it great, then you can bump it up to 100 and see how you do with 100. For me personally, once I get beyond 100 to 110 is when the sweat starts to pour off. However, when we get ourselves to a higher level, that 130 plus, you don't sweat as much as you think because your body doesn't have a chance to cool itself as fast. So you won't notice that you're sweating profusely until after you get out, in which you want to take a little bit of time to kind of reorient yourself with your room temperature setting, or getting into the shower. Somebody asked, well, do you get into the shower and take a really extreme cold shower? You can, but I would highly recommend that you allow your body temperature to come back to dissipating at room temperature before you decide to go into a cold plunge and put yourself through shock. There are people that do that and they do it well. And it actually works really, really well for our body. We call it combo treatment. And that's really, really popular. And when we look at the French and how they used to heal, they would soak in these deep hot springs or hot baths, and then they would plunge into these cold tubs. So you can do that, but you don't worry about whether you're getting the formula just right. The most important thing is, are you getting some time in the infrared setting and making it tolerable so that you can breathe and you can relax and not wonder, okay, how much longer? If you're thinking how much longer is on your timer, you have your timer turned up too high. So that's what I want you to remember. If you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I've only got 2 more minutes, I can totally suck this up. No, let's not do that because it's actually stressing you out. If we have high blood pressure, if we have heart disease, we have diabetes, we've dealt with some kind of a recent autoimmune. So if you've got especially multiple sclerosis, if your body temperature goes up with multiple sclerosis to a certain degree, then some of your symptoms start to become more noticeable. So if you are worried about that, then start out with less is better and let your body acclimate. And once it acclimates or gets used to it, then you can increase that time and increase the temperature to where you know that you're comfortable. But we don't want you to get lightheaded or dizzy. If you're getting nauseated, you need to get out. If your heart starts to beat a little heavier, or if you start to feel it's harder to breathe, extreme heat can cause increase in heart rate and an increase in blood pressure. And if your body is not able to cool itself, or if you have neuropathy, or you don't sense things differently, then or sense things happening that you can't understand if you're too hot or not, we want to be really, really safe and careful with those situations. If you are pregnant, make sure that you check with your physician before you sit in there and cook for a while. Are you going to cook your baby? No, but we are already in a vulnerable situation when we are pregnant as ladies, and our body doesn't respond the same way. So if you're used to getting in a sauna up to the point you find out you're pregnant and you're 3 months pregnant and you just found out and you've been in the sauna for a while, you're going to be fine because you've been doing it for a while. It's like doing exercise a long period of time. They say whatever you've been doing before you're pregnant, continue to do it for a while. But at some point, you are going to have to push the halt button until you recover from your pregnancy. So if you've had a total hip, total knee, total shoulder, have had spinal rods inserted, you're fused. If you have any metal in your body, you're going to be fine. I have quite a few clients who have had total joint replacements or who have had scoliosis fusion. So they've got the rods in their back, and they get in and they're fine. It actually helps them to feel good and to move better. You just have to make sure again that you're finding a temperature that works best for you, not what the manual says you should do based on the outcome of the goals that you have up here, but what actually do you feel? That is what's most important. So make sure you stay within the parameters of what makes you feel the best, because we all experience heat different. While I'm on that topic, I want to also make sure and remind you, if you have had a response to heat exhaustion or heat illness or a concussion, a recent concussion or within the last year, be really careful with the sauna, because if you have already had a history of heat exhaustion or heat illness, or if you have had a head injury, you are more prone to having another heat reaction. So make sure that if you are wanting to get into your sauna when you get one at home, make sure that somebody is at home with you and that they know that you're getting in so that they can check in on you if for some reason you should pass out. Those kind of things do happen. We don't hear about them, but I'm sure that they do happen, because it doesn't take much to send you into heat illness if you've already had an episode of heat exhaustion or heat stroke. And same thing with head injury. When you've had a traumatic brain injury and your body is recovering from that, our body does not react, and the heightened stress hormones lead to a different response. So make sure that somebody is near you and knows that you're getting in if you haven't done that before and you're not used to or acclimated to the heat within the sauna, because it's just a different feeling, but it feels amazing. It feels wonderful. Okay, now we've gone over a lot of different things. And then last but not least, the one thing I forgot to share with you is it does come with a cup holder. Mine doesn't have a cup holder. It kind of stinks. I would really like to have a cup holder, but you guys get a cup holder. The other thing that you get that I had to buy extra is that backrest. So if you see the wood backrest back there, yours looks a little different than that. It's all one piece instead of two pieces, but you're going to get one of those free with your purchase because you only need one. And like I said, I had to pay like $125 extra for that extra piece of wood. But if you're going to get into the sauna, you want to be able to lean back against those panels. And so that reminds me to share with you, if you are worried about leaning into those black panels, you can lean into those panels. I like to prop my feet up on the panels and get the bottoms of my feet going. Yes, you can touch the panels. Are they warm? Yes, but they're not going to blister you or scar you for life. So just be careful. If you are not sure with how your body responds, do be careful. Now, we talked about Rejuviv, the color spectrum, okay? And so you see the chromotherapy light going off in the background. Now, we're going to provide all this information in your user manual so that you know exactly what you can use yours for, which light to turn on, or just to experience all of them. I didn't have this little printout last time. I just had it all handy written out for me. But we've got all these different colors. So like I said, we got a little Rejuviv going on there. And these are all colors of the wavelength spectrum of how they heal us through our pupils and how our body absorbs that energy. And so yellow light is referred to helping with detoxification and improved mood. So if you're looking for, I actually had a client contact me yesterday and say, hey, are the daylight lights really popular? Because in certain parts of the country, there's not enough daylight. And if we're not seeing daylight through our pupils, our brain, our pituitary gland is not releasing vitamin D and other hormones. And so our thyroid can start to act up. Metabolism drops by about 30%. Fat metabolism drops with it. Overall, how our body regulates itself from the happy hormone standpoint, we experience truly seasonal depression disorder. And so yellow light is actually one of the lights that can help combat that. So if you can't afford one of the Rejuvacure Far Infrared Saunas, a mood light or a daylight lamp that you can put in your room first thing in the morning, get your eyes into it for 5 or 10 minutes, and you'll actually feel fresh because our body regulates hormones through light entering through our pupils and our eyes. Okay. Green is, you're going to see green flow through here. I have all these different colors as well. That's what you're seeing kind of rotate through. But green is really good for skin, for detox, and lymphatic flushing. So green light is good for lymphatic cleansing. When it comes to the cyan, I think it's cyan, C-Y-A-N. I remember learning that in preschool, but I don't use that word very often. I'm just going to call it turquoise. As my kiddo in kindergarten, she would call it turquoise. Now she's like, Mom, it's really turquoise. So the turquoise color is for optimal skin health, but so is red light and so is the infrared light. So you're getting a lot of skin health here. When it comes to bacteria, wound management, antifungals, that's what your blue light is. So blue light, and if you've bought some of our other light therapy devices, we have the Lumicure light therapy torch and the Visicure light therapy mask. Both of those have blue light on them, and they're quite powerful for if you have acne, if you have any kind of an open wound. Of course, you're not going to put anything directly on an open wound. You're just going to cast it, about an inch away from the open wound, but it will help with wound treatment and antibacterial and skin health. When it comes to violet, violet is one of my favorites. Violet is for improved mood and for sleeping and for serotonin levels. So serotonin is mainly a gut completed hormone, meaning that we like make a lot of that hormone in our belly. And so for those of us like me who like to eat junk from time to time, I had pizza today for lunch. Certain toxins that we put in our body block our body from being able to manufacture authentic serotonin hormone, which is what makes our brain happy. And so, if we're not getting enough serotonin hormone released in our body, then we don't have the happy moods or the pleasant disposition that we want. And so, you can actually hack into that through Mr. Violet back there, or Mrs. Violet, whatever you want to call it. But Violet is all about making us feel happy and making us sleep really, really good. So I need a lot more Violet in my life because I've not been sleeping very good the last couple of days because I've been staying up late and have been violating my best practices, and I'm admitting it out loud so that I'm holding myself accountable. So Violet is going to help me get back in line. So orange, if you have inflammation, you're going to see like on my arms, I've got rosacea going on, and I've got this skin condition called keratosis pilaris, where my body produces too much keratin. And so it comes out in these little red patches. And I used to go to the tanning bed because when I would go to the tanning bed, it would actually help lower the level of keratosis breaking down. And so when I'm in the sauna, it actually helps to calm my keratosis pilaris and all my red patches. So my rosacea on my face is not that noticeable. I don't have skin breakout on my belly. So orange light is really good for inflammation and for providing skin relief and pain relief. And yes, the light will continue to change on yours, or you can just set it on one color. You have that option. And then last but not least, which we talk a lot about, is the red light. And the red light is about stimulating collagen and elastin production, which is what holds our fascia together, regenerates fascia, also helps to regenerate stem cells and anti-aging fine lines and wrinkles without having to have Botox, and cellular health in general. So it systemically takes care of our body. So that's your spectrum of Rejuviv and how it's going to make you feel fantastic. What can you do for melasma? I am not sure about that, Debbie, because I am not an expert there. I would have to check into that. But I can tell you that there's got to be information on there. I would just type into a search engine, far infrared treatment for that condition, and just see what comes up, because I honestly am not sure, and I don't want to answer anything or take a guess. If I don't know it, I will just share that with you. Okay. So what are some things that you can do when you get into your sauna? Well, there's a variety of, okay, I get what you're saying, Debbie. Sorry. Yes. So for pigmented skin and different patches, yes, red light is really good for that, and infrared is really good for that as well. And I think, I'm trying to think, orange or yellow, actually they refer to it as amber light. Amber light helps with changing or kind of regenerating that color back to right. It's going to take some doses, but yes, it does. It has been known to do that. Thank you for clarifying that up. Didn't know the word that goes along with that. Okay, now the other thing that I forgot to share with you. You see two speakers in mine. Okay, you have speakers in yours as well. And what makes your speakers so nice? See if I have a picture. They're going to be over here in this corner. Let me grab the really good picture. They're over in the corner there behind the control panel. Okay. And when you have your speakers, they're Bluetooth. So that's really nice, because mine, if in order to use my speakers, which I used to use, I would have to have the little iPod, the little bitty one, the little nano, and I would have to plug it in with an auxiliary cord. That's why there's a cord that hangs down from up there. And this is not Bluetooth incorporated. So in order to use music or listen to an audiobook or to listen to a podcast while I'm in mine, I actually have to sit a speaker, a Bluetooth speaker outside of mine, and I don't use my speakers anymore because they're not Bluetooth. So that's how old mine is. It's a dinosaur. So kudos to all of you, because yours actually has Bluetooth speakers. So a lot of wonderful things. Now, when you get in, like I said, I've got a towel that sits in there. There's a variety of different ways that you can position yourself, whether you just want to sit up against the panels. And again, I just want to share with you here, when you get in, hop in here so you can see. you can sit all the way against the panel and touch the panel, and I'm not burning. Like it's comfy, and it's like yours is going to be to about right here, okay? And there's plenty of space. You can lean in the corner, you can put a foot up, you know, you can put a foot on a panel if you want to, you can stretch. There's just a lot of different ways you can stand. If you have the door open, you can do some forward folding, some nice stretching, and still be in here with the wavelengths hitting you without you having to be enclosed in here. So if you feel claustrophobic being inside and you don't feel safe with the door closed, you can open the door and the unit will still run and you can still enjoy the benefits without feeling claustrophobic inside. But remember, the heat is what makes us feel really good. And that's what infrared does, is it creates heat and it penetrates from the inside out. But if you don't do well in heat, but you still want the benefits of the infrared wavelengths, you can get in and leave the door open and still be safe. So there's ways that you can use it if you have a condition or disease or autoimmune response and you can't handle the heat, but you want the intensity so that your body can continue to regenerate and thrive. There's ways that you can do that without having to absorb and breathe in the heat. I'm in a standard size bedroom right now, and it doesn't increase the heat of this room by much. So yes, the heat is contained inside, but if you're worried about everybody else in your home being overheated because you're running your sauna on 149, you're not going to have to worry about that because it doesn't get so hot that it changes the whole room. Your family will be fine, friends will be fine, roommates will be fine, all that good stuff. Okay, I'm going to double check here. I'm looking at some notes here. So one other thing I wanted to cover with you. It's the holidays. People are starting to maybe run low on dollars because you're buying things for other family members or friends or coworkers or colleagues, whomever. And so if you don't want to plunge out the $14.99 while those units are still available, if you go on our website, you can click on the Affirm financing program and you'll fill out the application. And it is a total third-party company. It's not LifePro that's financing it. It's Affirm is a totally separate company that does all the financing, but they will assign you an interest rate based on your credit. And you can buy the Rejuvacure Far Infrared Sauna for as low as $249 a month for 6 months. So if you're trying to kind of budget yourself and cash flow is a little off, you have the opportunity to file for that financial program and pay it off in 6 months at $250 a month or so. And I'm sure that they have a policy. I've not had to finance anything through that, but I'm sure if you look into it, if you wanted to pay it off early, should you come into greater cash flow where you're more comfortable and you've taken care of everybody else around you, there's likely not going to be any penalties if you pay it off early. So those are some things to consider. So lots of things that we've covered. I don't want to overwhelm you because I was on here for a couple hours the other night. I just want to give you kind of the lowdown on where we're at with sales. We sold a lot. We sold a lot of units the other night, which I'm grateful for because those individuals are going to experience healing and healthy and happy at home without having to go to a gym or another facility. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have as little as I can have while being on camera, but when it comes to getting in there, I'm usually in there completely naked because the more that you can expose your body to the infrared technology, the more cellular change you get. So in other words, when you're getting into your unit, if you have one in the privacy of your home and you can get in your underwear or in your swimsuit or little to nothing but your birthday suit, you're going to experience results much faster than if you wear shorts and a t-shirt and try and sweat it out. It's not the sweating that is actually going to help you. That's your body just cooling yourself because the wavelengths are penetrating at a very deep level. It's the actual technology of the infrared lighting that is making all the difference. And then remember, with red light and the chroma light, we can actually see that with our eyes, but true infrared, whether full spectrum, so whether you're at the near, far, or near, mid, or far portion of the infrared wavelength, it's naked to the human eye. The human eye can't see it. So it is working, and you'll know it's working if you can feel it from the heat. So the higher that you feel that heat, you're getting more intensity, but less is sometimes better. More is not always better, and it's very independent specific. So I don't like to give the dose in order to get these outcome results. I don't like to say you have to get in the sauna this many days a week, this temperature for this amount of time, because it's so dependent on each person. What I want to make sure that you know, though, is you can get in it every day of the week if you choose to. When I first got mine, I was in it every day for, the first month because I just felt so much better. And again, I've got fibromyalgia. So this helps to manage my pain so that I don't have to take prescription drugs for that. And I'm pain free for the most part every day between the vibration platform and between using this and staying moving with some of our other tools and resources. I don't hurt and I don't have to take a pill, thankfully. Um, when I don't sleep as well, then I know I have to find other remedies besides the pill. So this is one of them. But you can start with just 10 minutes a day, 2 or 3 times a week. You can start 10 minutes a day, twice a day, every other day, and just see how you fare. Everybody's going to be different. But the more important thing that I want you to remember is you're going to feel change within the first 30 days of some sort. But be careful about what you're wishing for, because I think a lot of us are like, if I get in that sauna, I'm going to lose 5 pounds of fat, because infrared lighting works on stubborn brown fat throughout us. It helps to metabolize and release that so we can use it. Um, it's one of the great secrets of weight loss and detoxing is the infrared sauna. So if you're trying to lose fat and you're trying to detox, you're going to go to the higher end of the spectrum of 125 or higher. So I spend a lot of time in there at that 125 to 135. But I have been in there at 140 and it's fine. I do okay with it. So, lot we covered there. So treatments, 1 minute to 60 minutes, temperature 68 degrees to 149 degrees. The unit weighs 229 pounds. When it comes in the crate, you're going to need two of you to unload it. It is 35.5 by 35.5 square by 75 tall. It's got 4 carbon fiber heater panels, including a slitted or vented floor. You've got a towel holder, a bottle holder. You've got the chromotherapy. You've got the ionizer, the oxygen ionizer. You've got all these different things, a backrest that comes free. Your shipping is free. It is a slam dunk deal. Shower before or after, it's up to you. If you shower before, there's a great advantage to showering before you get in it, because when you take a shower, it actually opens up your pores, and then you can get in and you can hang out in there for as long as you want to. Your body can detox through those pores. And not only do you receive the energy through the pores, but you're also flushing and detoxing that lymphatic system through the pores. So you can shower before in order to open everything up, not like a full-on shower, but just a good rinse. In fact, most gyms you go to, they want you to rinse, or spa, they want you to rinse, because not only for disease control, but also it prepares your body. By the time you're done and you get out, you can either go and take a warm rinse followed by a cold rinse, or you can wait it out for up to an hour and continue to let your body detox on that higher level of tissue, because you've heated the tissue really deep. So if you don't want to cool it off yet, go run around, do some chores or do something for an hour, and then hop in the shower. So you don't have to shower immediately after you're done. You can shower later if you can handle all the sweat. It uses a standard plug. You don't have to have an electrician to install it. You can install it on your own, but do make sure that if you're leasing a home, that you are making sure that you're following the requirements and staying within the limits of whatever your landlord requires of you. But it doesn't require a special outlet or any kind of a special breaker. It uses just a standard plug. It is a one-person sauna, so don't try and squeeze 2 or 3 of you in there, because you will not fit. The chromotherapy light is 7 colors, Rejuvacure spectrum. The control panel that you see over there in the corner, you have one on the outside, so you can control it from the outside as well as from the inside. So it's a huge advantage. And then you've got the tempered glass door that is crystal clear and blocks sound and holds the heat. So a lot of great things. I think we covered a lot of great things here tonight. I'm hoping that if you have any questions, I'll keep my eyeballs on the screen for another 2 or 3 minutes. And then I get to go decorate Christmas with my kiddo, because I have fallen behind the schedule. And so I have to go do my duties of being the cool mom on the block. But anyhow, again, for those of you that are in pain, it's super easy to put together. You can carry it in piece by piece. There is a wonderful assembly video that we're going to send to you. Make sure you have it. I would use that assembly video before you go through the assembly instructions on paper, because it can get confusing when you're looking through that kind of stuff sometimes. I know when I'm writing or creating the videos and going through the instructions, it can get a little confusing. So we try and make those videos special so that you all understand exactly what we're trying to get through, as opposed to you trying to figure out what the pictures are supposed to mean. And yeah, so it's super, super easy. You don't have to do a whole lot. Well, you don't have to do any hammering. You just have to have a power screwdriver to drill in, or screwdriver in the panels. They're already pre-drilled, but it speeds up the process versus to having to rotate and crank. And then all of these panels come together with like their little clips, their little buckles that are built into the unit. And you'll see that when you get your user manual, but they're on the side. You're going to see little clips, and I can show you on my unit. Here, we'll go for a little walk. Show you on my unit. That's what these little things are, these little clips. This is what holds it together. And so you're going to see them all the way down at the floor. That's what keeps it together, is those little clips. So you don't have to drill anything, and your heater cord comes through out here at the top, and then everything else is already wired inside, so that you don't have to worry about how you're going to put all the electronics together. Everything's already wired. All you got to do is snap and clip, kind of like Legos. You're putting together an adult Lego box, but it's just I want to say it's like 8 to 10 pieces from the user manual. So yes, this is going to be available on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page, so you can come back and watch this from the very beginning. All the wonderful benefits. Just keep in mind, the sauna behind me is not the Life Pro branded sauna. It is going to be it's going to be half this size. The wood will be okay if you put it in the garage, and even if the garage gets hot, it'll still be fine. The one thing that you can't do is you cannot put it outside where there's a lot of moisture or where it rains. The wood cannot get wet. And remember, although the wood is natural, and yes, it did grow in a forest where it rains, there are electronics in here. So the carbon fiber heaters cannot get wet. If you sweat through them, it's okay. But the electronics, we can't put them through like a torrential rainstorm. So you don't want your sauna to be outdoors unless it has a shelter around it and is not in extreme cold, because you don't want to freeze things. So, but I've had mine in a couple of different spaces. And like I said, right now it's kind of in this little cased in area. I've seen a lot of saunas actually built into homes. I was in a couple of professional athletes' homes a couple months ago in California, and they actually had their sauna very similar to mine, just built into the wall. It's really nice, and it just kind of sits in flush with everything. Mine's pretty simple though, just click and go, right? You can have it outdoors, outdoor in a shelter space. Just no water, no heavy moisture. You want to make sure that, so in your garage is fine. It doesn't have to be heated, but you do want to make sure that it is free of moisture and water or liquids, because you don't want to get it wet. Now, I did not cover how to disinfect. So one thing that you're going to do when you first get it, you can use a wood cleaner. Like I said, I use Method. It smells really good. It removes all of the dust and stuff from the outside, and you can wipe down all the parts before you assemble it together. I highly recommend that. But don't use anything with heavy chemicals. And even after you start using it, I don't wipe it down with a disinfectant on the inside, because it's wood. So it holds everything every chemical, and then you go and sit on it. However, the easiest way to disinfect it, that oxygen ionizer in there will disinfect as much of that airspace as what you need. But what I like to do is I turn it on as high as I can turn it up, which mine's 140. Yours goes to 149. You're going to turn up as high as you can go to 149, and you're going to set the timer for 60 minutes and just let it cook. And it'll kill pretty much everything that's in that space for that hour before you return, or if you're sharing it with friends, colleagues, whomever, however you want to do it. I will tell you, although Life Pro has not endorsed their Rejuvacure for professional use, I know the one that I bought is used in a lot of medical offices with chiropractors, a lot of massage therapists. And like I said, the same unit that you're getting is a pretty darn close unit to this one. So it can be used multiple times a day, but it is not considered a commercial sauna, is a residential home use sauna. But a lot of doctors' offices will use them, chiropractors' offices, massage therapy offices will use them for the convenience of their patients and clients before they work on them. So that's a whole nother thing that you can look into at some point in the future. But make sure you have your water, make sure you have an extra towel so that you can wipe off as you drip. But I think that covers everything. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to post them here in the box in the next minute. If I don't see any extra questions, then we'll peace out onto the next time. I do know that we've got some more lives coming up in the next week. I believe I'm supposed to be going later on in the next week, potentially with another new product maybe that we have coming out. It just depends on whether we're on target for that or not. If not, you're going to see a workout from me. I'm not sure. So maybe it'll be a big surprise, but I'm trying to give you as much of Amber energy, as much magic as I can give you for the month of December. It's a little bit slower month for me. So I like to be out front and center with all of you because I love our Life Pro family. So that being said, I want to say thank you to all of you who have been posting. If you do have questions, I'm keeping an eye on the VIP group and on the main page every day. And if there's something that one of our team has not answered or somebody has not answered who has our product, then I'm always making sure that I can chime in. If you would like me to answer your question directly, make sure and tag me. It is Amber Harden Kivett, Kivett. Make sure and tag me in your post. And so that when I go to look at my notifications, if I see that you've tagged me, then I'll go straight to the post and check what your question is and try and get back to you as fast as possible. But super excited and proud to be here in teaching and sharing and exchanging information with all of you. And keep sharing with us your stories. One of my favorite things about this job is hearing from all of you that reach out to us at Life Pro headquarters. Some of you have texted me, some of you have emailed me, and some of you actually called and just telling us what's going right. What is your life like before Life Pro, and what is your life like after? And that's what I love about this job, is that I get to have some kind of an influence in your world for the better. And that is my purpose every single day. When my feet hit the ground and I get out of bed, even on the days I'm tired and I don't feel good, the autoimmune kicks my tail, or I've worked too hard the day before and I just don't have it, especially in the winter months. Knowing that I have the ability to change one of your lives each and every day just by sharing what I know is all the reason why I get up and serve every single day. So when you give us the feedback that your life is getting better or you're experiencing change, and then on the vice versa end of that, if something's going wrong and you don't have a good day because you've tried something that we've recommended, let us know that. I actually had somebody reach out to me today that said, she had done one of my workouts for a long time and she wasn't feeling very good after doing it for so long, and something was off and she thought she had done something to hurt herself using our product. And we went back and started thinking about her time in the 24 to 72 hours prior. There were a lot of other stressful things going on in that individual's life that could have contributed to where she ended up. And so she wanted to be able to use the device again, but was not sure how to approach it. So if you're in that situation and we can be of help to you, we are here as a team to serve you. And you're not paying for our time that you have access to us on our different social media channels. And I assure you that there's a wonderful team here at Life Pro, and we're multi-rounded in a lot of different expertises with evidence-based backing, medical backing behind all of our responses, so that we're just not giving you what we think you want to hear. Everything we do, we're either doing it with our own people, or we're receiving the information from other physicians or therapists or some of you who have already done it. So we do appreciate your feedback, and we love your positive comments, and we love that you're sharing our energy and our stories with your families, your friends, and your colleagues, and those in your neighborhood. So continue doing that, because remember, greatness is not experienced by what we have. It's not what's in our homes. It's not what we have, what we drive, how much is in our bank account. Our greatness truly is experienced by what we're able to give and share with each other. It's an exchange. So the more that we're able to give and share with each other, the more it comes back full circle and we receive it. And I tend to find that the more I give and share, that when I actually receive the information that I need, or they receive the energy that I need, it's always when I'm looking for it. And I don't have to look very far. It just comes right back around. So go out, be great, and thank you for being part of Life Pro. Have a wonderful evening.